Alright everyone, welcome to a new playthrough. Hello, welcome back. Sorry that it took me so long to set up, but apparently I am kind of fucked what that is. I had to set up more than I was anticipating, so we're here. We are absolutely going to shred this game. Well, not really, but yeah. This is one of my favorite MMOs of all time. This is literally reminding me of back in the day when I used to be a wee lad of 12 to 16, around that time, and we were playing this game religiously all the time. So yeah, at first I want to kind of clarify what this is going to be. We started a similar playthrough already earlier, but I'm going to reboot that playthrough because recently, ever since December last year, they were adding new stuff to the game, which I didn't expect. That other playthrough started before they started adding new stuff, so I didn't expect this to happen. And I kind of wanted to wait a bit until the game, until we knew where they were taking this game. And I think at this point I pretty much know where they're going to take this game. That's why I'm going to do this. So the rules for this are going to be as follows. Hi Kiza, thanks for joining. Glad you're here because we are going to announce the rules for what's going to happen. It's pretty similar to what I did before, but I am a little bit organized. Like, we are rebooting the Guild Wars 1 playthrough completely. But there's a few more caveats to this. So first off, we're going to be doing the same thing where we are making 6 distinctive characters. As usual, we're going to start in pre-searing Ascalon. As before, we're going to start there. We're going to make all of these 6 characters. Alright, Kiza, that's okay. But yeah, I'm going to start with the regular 6 characters, with each with a different class. As before, we're going to reboot this entire thing, but here's the catch. I actually have this playthrough planned out a lot more. Last time when we did it, I didn't really plan out this playthrough a lot. Like, I didn't plan all of the quests, who's going to take the quests, who's going to do which mission. I didn't plan all of that out. Now it's actually planned out to make sense. Like, it makes sense for a specific character to have missions. Also, the different characters also have like their own distinctive personalities. I'm going to talk about those personalities as we go on. I kind of want this to be a part of a role-playing aspect for us guys. So each of these characters has a different function in the team and a different personality to go along with what we already have for the game. If you know what I mean. That's a thing that I added that will make this playthrough a lot more exciting. Let me just see if I can get there. But yeah, this is going to make the playthrough more exciting than before. Also, we're going to do the new content that they added. The thing is, a lot of stuff that they added is in pre-searing or in Old Ascalon, where we're going to start, which is good. Alright, I have it set up here. We have everything. I basically went through the quest list and even like not just the missions, but also the quests. I set it up where we have a clear path before us, and each quest has a character assigned to it that is going to do it, that is fitting for it. For example, the necromancer is more of a scholar, and he's kind of like dealing with like the depths of Ascalon, right? Like the very much like the dark underside. Whereas, for example, the warrior is basically the leader of the group, but also does like the more straightforward missions where we're just heading into battle against enemies, like where we're just striking enemies head on. That's where the warrior is. And the ranger is going to be our scout and explorer. They're going to tackle missions that are more like scout type missions. There are definitely scout type missions. Like, that is the kind of thing that I want to do with this game. And it's kind of different from what we did before. What we did before, I just decided based on a whim who's going to do what. So I'm hoping that this is going to be more conducive. And we're going to start today with the character creation. By the way, this is not the game that I wanted to play today. I kind of got sidetracked today by something else happening. So I couldn't be there when I was starting my regular game. That's why I switched over to this game. And that's why I also had to delay it a bit, because I didn't have the time to set everything up for this game. I needed to set everything up for this game. It wasn't fully ready. Now it is. So, yeah. So, here we go. I'm going to switch over to the game. Let me pause the audio. Here we go. By the way, Guild Wars Reforged, like the update they did, is absolutely great. It is phenomenal. Like, I can kind of introduce you a little bit to the game before I do this. Like, the game looks fantastic, right? Just to give you an overview of how the game looks. Oh, where could we go? Somewhere lush, like over here. The game looks fantastic. They added like 4K and 4K updates. It's phenomenal what they did to the game. Like, they did a bang up job on it. If you catch my drift. It's an incredible job for the game. Let me just look at my options. We now have more control over what we do. I can't go full 4K on this monitor, sadly, but yeah. We also can even bump it a little bit. Even to where my PC can't handle it anymore, which is great. But yeah, they also added controller support to the game, so you can actually play the game with a controller right now if you wanted to. That is one of the great things that they added. I do enjoy the controller support. And yeah, the customizable interface and all of that is all there still. So yeah, they added a ton of stuff. But yeah, that's not going to be it. That's not going to be the deciding factor here. I fucking logged out again. Let me log in. Alright, we're going to start with the character creation. And we're going to create the 5 characters we're not going to use for now. I'm going to introduce them as we move along in the story. I'm not going to introduce them right now and their personalities. We're going to start with Elementalists. Let me quickly check. I have the doc open to see everyone. They also have all preset names. Elementalist. I do love me some Elementalists from Kryta. The one thing that I would love if they added would be new customizable options. Wait, couldn't you rotate around the character? Like new hairstyles. I would definitely enjoy new hairstyles. Why can't I rotate in the menu? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, new hairstyles and new hair colors would be like highly appreciated if they added. I always like that in Kryta we get a vast variety of different hair colors. And I do always prefer the red, the blazing red for elementalists. Just because it's crazy. It looks very vibrant, and it works for elementalists best because we are probably going to build a fire elementalist anyway. We need to kind of like this face. Skin color. Yeah, that's one of the things that I would like. More customizable options here. Alright, do we do red matching? Wait a second, I can actually look this up. Because I have this also set up. Yeah, we're going with red. We're going to make Elementalist a little bit shorter. Alright, here we go. And this is going to be Lyra. Fuck you, game. What do we do? That is actually not what I wanted to open up. Thank you. I didn't even press the thing. Here we go. Yeah, obviously this is taken. Alright, this works. This works. I'm going to skip this for now. I just love how vibrant the game starts looking. Getting started in Guild Wars. Yes. They also added new tutorials. It's the kind of game that you buy once. You buy this game once and then you own it forever. So if you want, I would definitely suggest buying it, because you'll be owning this game forever. Okay, first character selected. You can literally see my other elementalist has like the same hair color. Alright, let me go through this again for the next character. We're going to introduce them later down the line, but I wanted to create them with you guys so you actually know what they look like before we actually go into it. So the elementalist is going to be an arcane researcher that is basically researching arcane powers. It is kind of a hothead in a lot of situations, and it's just a magical powerhouse. I think it was female, right? Yes, it is female Mesmer. Let's see what we have here. I still don't know why I should let me rotate my camera, but it doesn't. I don't know if it's because there's a controller attached to this. Probably not. You know, Mesma always has kind of a resty bitch face. I don't know what it is, but I think we're... I don't know which color do we choose. I'm going for the ash gray or the orange. I think the ash gray works best. But Mesma needs to have a resty bitch face. I think. It has to be like that, right? Okay. Which color preset do we want for Mesma? Obviously, we want the purple. Yeah, right. We want the deep purple. This is blue, this is purple, right? And she's going to be also relatively short. I hope we don't run into problems with the character names a lot. That I've chosen. There we go. I'm going to skip this intro for now. For everyone, basically. At the beginning of the game. And we're going to talk to Sir Titus. But yeah, I can talk a little bit about the Mesma. The Mesma is going to be the strategist of the group. And it's... The Mesma is going to get the... most of the investigation missions. So... when there's political intrigue going on in the background of a mission, we are definitely taking the Mesma for us. Alright. So, already 2. Next up, Prophecies. Necromancer. We actually have a male necromancer in our party this time. You know, necromancer are always looking kind of weird. I think I like this style the most. Those are some very colorful colors. The dark green in the hair will actually look good in turn, I feel like. Although he's kind of a scholar, so... I mean, we have ash gray, we have red hot. Maybe dark blue. Maybe we'll just make him blue, just because we can. Those are some wild faces. He needs to kind of look like a scholar a little bit. So he's not allowed to look as evil as some of the faces suggest. I think I'll take that face. Alright. We're definitely going for the green. In his equipment. Go. He is allowed a little bit taller. Here we go. So yeah, the necromancer is going to be a scholar of forbidden knowledge, like knowledge that is kind of the dark arts and forbidden. There's kind of a lot of stuff going on in the Crystal Desert later down the line in this game that the necromancer is going to have a direct connection to, right? So that's where we're going with this. All right. Let me go here. So that's the Necromancer setup. A monk. Ah, we're going with female monk again, right? I do like the monk archetype. The monk is going to have an interesting archetype throughout the game. I swear. I have been a monk for a long time in this game, and I can tell you, monks are every bit as evil as everyone says. We'll take the blonde. I'm not a huge fan of most of those faces. I'll take this one. Color. What kind of colors did I choose for the monks? White. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We can't do white, so... we're going to set monk at the lowest. At the shortest. I think I'm going with silver for now. Because we cannot do white right now. They actually have pretty decent names. I think I came up with something good. Monk is going to have an interesting adventure. Because the monk is going to be kind of the moral compass of the group. But also... they are going to be, as most monks are, they can be a little bit arrogant. Because they carry groups in MMOs. So she's going to be very demanding of the party and very arrogant towards them sometimes. Well, because I know how to play a monk and I've been there. I've been that arrogant fucking monk that was leaving people... Like, that was leaving people dead somewhere because they were dying too much. Because I just didn't feel like rezzing them. I've been there, done that. Alright, Prophecies, Ranger. We're picking... Female Ranger again. Kind of always like this look for a Ranger. But maybe this one fits better. So we're going with dark brown this time. I kind of want everyone to have a different hair color. Because these characters are going to be made into heroes down the line for future campaigns. We're going with darker skin color this time, huh? I think so. I think that's fine. So yeah, those earthly browns are pretty decent. And a little bit taller. Could actually make her, like, somewhat tall. Can we create that? Please? Yes. So we're skipping. The thing why I do the warrior last is because the warrior is going to be the one that is doing most of the heavy lifting in Ascalon. So in the pre-searing Ascalon that we are in now, in the tutorial section, we're going to be playing nothing but the warrior. You know? So the warrior is kind of like the last guy that we make. And he's going to lead the party from this point forward. And after we're done with the pre-searing stuff, other people are going to lead the charge. But for the first one, the warrior is going to lead the charge as the leader of the group. Male warrior and their hairstyles, huh? Honestly, I kind of like this one. We're going to make him orange. Sure. Here we go. There we go. That's going to be a warrior. I'm also going to work a bit more. He's going to be massive, by the way. And I'm taking the orange. Do we do that? Yeah, I think we're going to do that. It's going to be a warrior. He's going to be the leader of the group, obviously. And I'm going to go into the backstories, and I'm going to work on the backstories as we move along as well. Alden Valeborn. All of these characters are born in and close to Ascalon, by the way. That's part of their story. Here we go. Now we're not skipping. And I'm going to move back so I can actually see.
Day dawns on the kingdom of Ascalon. It arrives with no fanfare, no tolling of alarms. Those who will remember will speak fondly of the warm morning breeze.
Sorry, I couldn't see what you were writing, Kisa, because I had my... I had my window open.
Everything they have ever known will come to an end.
If you weren't here, this is a playthrough of 6 different characters that are going as a party through the game. One of every class. It's like a band of heroes that goes through the game, which I think fits the game very well.
Bring to me the bravest in all of Ascalon.
There we go.
Find me the heroes who will lead our kingdom to glory. As you command, my king.
So I'm obviously not going to play every character through the entire game. But characters are going to be in charge of different things throughout. Because the game is supposed to be like a fantasy of a band of heroes walking through the game, discovering the secrets and going through together until the end. That's the fantasy of this game. Because pretty much you yourself are not the main protagonists of this series, of this game. At least it wasn't like that. Back in the day, you had to use and because I don't have that many mercenary slots right now. Also, they have to tackle like different I want each of them to have an impact on the story, to be the main character for a different mission. If you catch my drift. I think this way works better. So we can all go through this whole adventure together. Alright. We basically have been called to arms, right? Because of the dooming Char invasion. So the main character that will take over now. Can I please somehow, yeah. Let's hide the guild's signal. Yeah, kind of. The good thing is I'm going to do a lot of off-stream planning anyway for this game. But the good thing is, in Prophecies, I don't need to play every mission with every character. So I can just fast forward characters to where they need to be immediately without having to play all of it, right? So that's what I'm going to do a lot for the other characters. I've already planned out the entire thing, so when this stream is over today, I'm definitely going to go over and bring each character to where they need to be, where they are going to pick up the story. Guild Wars. They renamed this quest, huh? All right. So yeah, we're going to talk to our profession trainers. Van the Warrior. All right, Alden Veilborn. I was asked to see if you learned what it means to be a warrior. You've heard the stories, no doubt. Warriors are impossible to kill. They are capable of incredible feats of endurance, and they are deadly in close combat. Listen to what I have to say, and you just might learn how to accomplish all these feats and more. I have a little challenge in mind to prepare you for what it's like to be a warrior. Live through this, and you'll be well on your way. A horde of scale has appeared in the river. Get down there and take care of them. And I mean all of them. When you finished, report back to me. Sure. But yeah, I already made a list of quests that are going to be important to the plot. And I've made also a list of which character is going to tackle which mission. And when we're through with the game, I'm going to make all of these 6 characters that we play through the regular game with. Well, I'm going to make them into heroes. And I'm going to do the same for factions and Nightfall, but only with the 2 new classes. So basically Assassin and Ritualist for factions and Dervish and Paragon for Nightfall. We're going to do the same thing, but it's only we're switching between 2 characters, which is a lot more manageable, obviously. And I don't mind having to play through the game multiple times. I appreciate all of the nuances of the game, honestly. Yeah, and I'm going to use all 8 mercenary slots on all of these. Yeah, I'm going to use all of the mercenary slot for the 6 we have now. And the 2 for factions, because the Nightfall characters are going to be the last ones. And they're probably never going to be mercenaries. I need to check how many I can actually get. I don't even know. But yeah. Eye of the North, I actually let me explain. I haven't planned anything for Eye of the North yet. Eye of the North is a difficult one because it kind of revolves around every character, but it revolves around none of the characters. It's kind of a weird one, right? I think I'm going to do... I need to plan out Eye of the North first. Maybe we'll play like... We only play with 1 character and he has all of the heroes available. All of the others as heroes. Let's attack here. First quest, very easy. But yeah, I have most of this plan out. Like, this setup also works very well with factions, because we have the Kurzik and Luxon split, right? So we can have, like, one of the classes go to the Kurziks and the other go to Luxon. Which is like, ideal, you know? We can play both campaigns at the same time. We can't really have them meet up at the end, but... It's a little bit sad, but it's okay. Alright. I'm going to have to get a little bit used to the setup. You're the warriors... Okay, let's talk to Havastan. Here we go. You're the warriors Sir Titus was telling me about, aren't you? Can you stop walking, please? Here we go. Well, I imagine he's right that you've got potential, but potential won't save you from a chaff firestorm. Experience will. I suggest you head southwest to Ashford and talk to Devonna. She's bound to have a task for you or two. Probably. I haven't decided on the armor sets yet. I have decided on the prophecies armor sets that we're going to do. By the end. Like the ones I want to get before they become heroes. I have decided on those armor sets. I haven't decided on Kurzik or Luxon if we're going to do them. Or if we're going to go a different route. They added a lot more stuff to guide you along the way. I also have I have ordered a keyboard to make this a little bit more comfortable, because right now I'm playing on a laptop right in front of me. That is like literally projected there. But if I have an extra keyboard, I can actually make this a lot more comfortable the way it is now. So I don't have to have the laptop in front of me all the time. Like, I set this up, like, this setup in, like, a long time. I had to do a race to get where I am today. And yeah, in Nightfall we can also do, like, the split missions, like, where the Dervish is going one direction and the Paragon is going to go the other direction. So we can kind of cover all of the missions, right? Does she give you a tapestry here? We're going to have to find Gwen a little bit later, because we're going to do her mission, her quest. There's Devonna. By the way we do heroes... I'm glad you've come. I can't seem to shake the feeling that there's trouble on the horizon. I'd be glad to have your help, and when it arrives. In the meantime, there are plenty of people here who need assistance with one thing or another, and I'm sure you'll find the lessons you learn here will be invaluable in the future. Thanks, Devonna. I've heard talk among the town folks of unsettling rumors coming from Mirak the Scribe. Instead of babbling to random strangers, you ought to send word to the authorities if he's come across something truly important, but I'm sure he's too engrossed in his books to think anything practical like that. My duties in town keep me from looking into this matter myself, but if you could go to Ashford Abbey to the north and ask him about it, I'd appreciate it. I'll see what he has to say. I also need to pull up my quest list a little bit. Let me do that. Because I haven't made a quest list that I need to do. But here we go. Unsettling rumors is on the quest list, actually. I mean, it's one of the main quests you need to do, right? But yeah, they added some new stuff here, so you can actually get Devonna as a hero. which I'm going to do. I've also set up the heroes in a way, by the way, that they kind of work. So we are going to get certain heroes, I think. But they need to make thematical sense to get, you know. Like, for example, you can get Olias in Lion's Arch once you hit Lion's Arch and get to Kamadan. But it doesn't make a lot of thematical sense to get Olias right there, because the whole White Mantle plot hasn't been developed yet. And we're going to get Olias after the White Mantle plot is basically done. Right? There we go. Devana sent you, bless her. She knows I could use the help. I have an important message that must be delivered to Armin Saberland in Ascalon City. I received a vision from Dwayna. She warned me that something dire is developing among the Char. The city must be alerted. I'll stay here and see if I can divine any more information. In the meantime, consult your map of Lakeside County to hasten your travel. Yeah, okay. Thank you. I know how to use the map. Thank you. By the way, in the future, I might use Guild Wars Toolbox. Maybe. There he is. I'm going to try to read as much dialogue as I can. Obviously, I've chosen a lot of these quests because they are very intricate to the story. Right? Like, it's very a lot of these quests are very integral to the story. That's why I've chosen them. A message from Mirak, is it? Let me see that. This is grave news indeed. I hope he's mistaken about this. Dwayna protect us if this information is accurate. If such a thing is even possible, then King Adelburn has ordered this offensive against the Char. Not a moment too soon. We must not lose this fight, I tell you. We must not lose this fight. So Titus wants you to take on a second profession before you face the Char, right? Yes. I have set this up. I have set this up somewhere. Why did I think Warrior Monk would be a good one? I'm going to set up Warrior Ranger. I think that works better from the beginning. It's a tough one to know which second profession to choose. Like, obviously each casting profession just chooses Mesmer all the time. Is there a... I think I'm going to choose Monk anyway because I want some variety. I think that would be a good idea, at least. Yeah, we do have Smiting Prayers. Monk, please. We do have Smiting Prayers. We also do get Smiting Prayers signets, right? That could be a good idea. What do you have? Yes, I would like to increase my skill as a warrior. Oh yeah, Gwen wants us to find her flute. She's just going to follow us, huh? Let me look at this real quick. Adventure with an ally. Right. The cool thing about this playthrough, by the way, is that I have to learn each profession, which is not a huge problem, but it gives us a little bit variety in what we're doing in combat, and I do kind of like that. Alright. I think it was down here. I think the flute was somewhere around here, right? I should probably get more skills. Before I even go there. Early Guild Wars is such a weird dynamic. Also, I'm not going to get to level 20 in pre-searing. Forget that. I don't even know if the new quests give you actually that much. That much experience. So there is an incentive to do so. For getting level 20 in pre-searing, right? Like, aside from the title. With the new Dooms and Melandros thing happening. Am I being misled? There's the broken flute. Like, Reforged added a bunch of new stuff into the game. And I'm super happy with that. There's Gwen. Gwen is super important to the story later down the line. But only in Eye of the North. Sure, we're going with strength and hammer mastery, please. What kind of quests do we have? There we go. What is kind of weird with how important Gwen is to the story, that after the searing, we don't get a lot of stories with her. Like, we don't actually get anything with her at all. Until Eye of the North. Which I find kind of weird, right? Okay. Right, there's bonus mission packs too. We'll get into those stories as well. But that came way later. That came even after Eye of the North. But just in Prophecies, there's like literally nothing. Like, it would be such a easy thing to just make Gwen a recurring character, right? In Ascalon, have her be involved in some of the quests alongside us. Like settle over with us to Kryta. I don't remember. Does Gwen stay behind in Ascalon instead of going to Kryta? That could be one reason she isn't there with us. I don't remember the lore. That much. But yeah, this is going to be a long stream. I can tell you. A long series as well. Oh, she got captured by the Char. That makes also a lot of sense. Right, didn't she get captured by the Char? Yeah, she got captured by the Char, and when there was like the overthrow of the fire, what was it called? The Fire Legion, from the Char. They basically Gwen was freed, right? Or maybe I'm misremembering the entire story. It's good that I'm playing it. The overthrow of the Fire Legion happens in this game, in Eye of the North. Pretty sure, right? So it's not that. But yeah, we're going to probably play this until next year. I can imagine. I'm going to treat this like a regular story game. Like, we're going to play through the story. And I'm not going to treat this like an MMO. So we probably won't do a lot of MMO stuff. For me, it's always been a story game, more or less. There you go. Still alive, huh? And once we're done with this, I would actually like to get into Guild Wars 2 as well. But that's going to be a tough one. And I'm also going to treat that like a story quest. Like a story game. But I highly doubt we're going to be playing both games. I highly doubt we're going to be able to play both games until Guild Wars 3 comes out. Which would be my preferred idea of where we are going with this, but I highly doubt it's possible. I don't know why they would give me sword skills right here. Lol. Graston the Protector. Second profession. Okay. I wanted to get to the Green Hill country anyway. This isn't an outpost. But I don't have a sword. Well, I do have swords. I actually have a long sword, which is probably just better to take. There we go. Because now we also have sword skills. They give you a hammer in the beginning and then they just give you sword skills. And just, you know. But here's the first. Oh, right. Immune to bleeding. And immune to deep wound by extension as well. Ugh. I wanted to show you the core mechanic of the warrior, which is adrenaline. As you can see, the more I attack, the more my adrenaline fills up. And the skills that use adrenaline become available. Like my number 3 and number 4 skill. But the number 3 skill, Sever Artery, it causes bleeding. Which these stone elementals can't be bled. So Cleaver. I also don't know which path I'm going to choose for this character. Like which weapon, you know. There we go. Bleeding, deep wounds. I'll probably start out with a sword build, and I'm going to transition into an axe build as time moves on, right? The good thing about this is, because each character is like part of a different part of the story, I can just wildly experiment outside of stream with builds for these characters, and it makes sense that in the time in between when the characters moved, that they would change up their playstyle somewhat, right? Do we have more Grawl invaders here? Oh, here we go. But yeah, I'm going to change up somewhat. I think all three weapons for the warrior are kind of fun. I still think warrior is kind of fun, but the one thing that I have to say is that warrior is kind of, a lot of people would call it unnecessary sometimes. There's professions later down the line that can handle the heats at the front line a little bit better. Warrior is still cool, but I don't know. Also, they are currently like rebalancing the game. So a lot of what I'm saying is actually prone to change. Does that even happen? I've never had that happen before. That someone else is taking the name. Because I usually have very, very wild names. But yeah, since I'm streaming this now, it might be that someone could take my name, obviously, if I'm deleting a character. Hello, War Master Grass. Give me that. Where can I learn more skills? Duke Baradin can be found in the Green Hills country on his estate to the southwest. We're definitely going for Duke Baradin. I think he's one of the... He's one of the more important characters in pre-searing and after the searing. Interesting. That seems very specific. And like something that shouldn't happen, right? Like someone who likes the same anime has come along and took your name. Very weird. One of my guildies is actually online. By the way, this guild that I'm in, it's a very old guild. This was a guild my friends and I used to make. We used to make in my friend group back in the day. And that friend group is basically disbanded at this point. You know. Like we haven't seen each other for a long time because basically we went on our separate ways, sadly. And we barely have any contact. But I've seen that one of my old friends is still playing the game. Like some of the others are basically gone for several months or years. You know? Like even up to 14 years. Right? Okay. We need to get to Barradin's estate. I actually don't remember a lot of the topography here. Do we even have to fight these stone elementals? They're not even attacking us. We don't even need to fight them. But yeah, that's basically what happened with the game. Like, everyone just went offline. And people are now rediscovering the game. Because of Reforged, which is like such a huge boon to everything. I really do like that. That they rekindled it somewhat. And that's coming like off of like Guild Wars 2 falling apart. Basically. Like obviously Guild Wars 2 is going to get developed for, but Guild Wars 3 is already in the pipeline. I have no idea how they're going to do that. But there seems to be like a newfound dev team that is working on this game. Very slowly, but still working on it. Which I honestly would have never thought was going to happen, right? Like if you would have asked me like last year, at this time last year, if the game ever would get like new content, I would have like called you crazy. Let's go to Barradin's estate. Seems like a lovely estate too. Hello, Duke Barradin. Greetings, youngster. I'm Duke Barradin. I train many young warriors in the art of hammer mastery. There's nothing that drives a point home like a hammer's mighty blow. Don't you agree? An Etin called Agna the Foot has been causing trouble in my vineyard. I could send my guards to deal with him, but if you can defeat him in one-to-one combat, I think I will send a stronger message to the giants that I'm not to be toyed with. The trick with the hill giant is to watch for his rage skill and interrupt it. I can give you the hammer bash skill to knock him down when he tries it, and even loan you one of my hammers if you need it. But it will be up to you to time it right and defeat him. Sure. Hello, little Tom. They call me Little Tom. Yeah, they do. I'm the axe trainer in this part. Not to brag, but I'm the best there is. The fastest too. The vineyard problem. Trouble at the Duke's vineyard. Large aloe seeds. Nasty things run amok. Take care of it, will ya? I'm pretty sure there's a quest with Little Tom that basically he's running away, right? And then he's dying. later down the line. I don't want to, like, get in ahead of myself. Alright. But first off, I want to return to Ashford Abbey. Do I have to... second profession right here, right? Hello, Brother Menlo. Greetings, my child. Can I help you today, or are you here to offer your services in those with need? Monk's mission. One of the tasks my messengers have been given is collecting the rare elements in Ascalon for study here at the Abbey. My young friend Paulus thinks he has discovered such a treasure in one of the flooded areas of the catacombs, but he cannot reach it on his own. Paulus, you see, is a smiting monk and not very adept at healing magic, and the waters in that area of the catacombs are full of disease. I will grant you a simple healing spell. Meet Paulus inside the catacombs, and he will show you where trouble is. Alright. I'm going to keep Bane's signets. Let's do it like this. But yeah, this whole setup will become more comfortable. But yeah, let's get a second profession first before we even continue on, right? Let's become a warrior monk. The combination sounds more devastating than it actually is at the end. There's not that much like a monk could even contribute to a warrior, except maybe the Bane signet. Takes a little bit of cast time, but it's okay, I guess. Like, the cool thing is, because they are updating the game recently, a lot of new builds become viable and available, and are just waiting to be discovered, which, you know, wasn't a thing before, but now it is. I mean... Oh yeah, I have to heal Paulus, obviously. I mean, I can use my healing signet to take care of everything. For me. But yeah, the good part is, because I did this before, and I was way less prepared for it. And because of that, I had to like introduce all of the classes for you guys at the same time. The way I'm doing it now, like, I'm going to introduce warrior to you now. Then after we're done with pre-searing, with the warrior and pre-searing, basically the ranger takes over, and I'm going to introduce all of the ranger skills to you, all of what the ranger can do and stuff, so I can like ease you into each class down the line. And I mean, the thing is, I already posted about my plans in the Guild Wars subreddit, and people called me crazy for trying to do this, because I think it is a pretty crazy plan. I'm not sure how much it adds to the playthrough, but I kind of like it. It doesn't need to add a lot to the playthrough, but I think the different stories that I come up with for the characters and the way they change the course of history and stuff, I think will add a little bit to it. It's like a roleplay element that we add on top of this game, right? I hope that my message will come through with this. And I mean, it will make this game a little bit more unique. And I do like that. Right. Like, I could have just chosen, like, my favorite class and made a normal playthrough with my favorite class and just keep it at that. But I also like playing this game outside of stream. Yes. The Blessings of Balthasar. Most who choose the ways of light do so because they are called by Dwayna to heal and protect others. We monks, however, must also learn when to call on Balthasar. Smiting prayers allow us to cause damage to our enemies, especially the violent dead, which brings me to a problem. Some skeletons escape from the catacombs in the night and are harrying the fields north of Ashford. Use smiting prayers to destroy the skeletons, then return to me. Retribution, symbol of wrath. Interesting. I'm going to remove Sever Artery right now because I'm going to, I think, let me switch to either Axe. I'm going to go with Axe for now. 4 to 6, 2 to 3. Yeah, we're going with Axe for now because we have Axe skills, obviously. Alright. Where do we need to go? Fields north of Ashford. It is an AoE skill, isn't it? Targets foes locations. That's 50 flat damage. Symbol of Wrath seems really good. Especially if you have all of the skeletons around. I think for now, I might go the route of Axe. I should probably heal. Right. Then we add Symbol of Wrath. I think I might go for Axe Warrior and Smiting Prayers. Axe, I'm going to combine Axe and Smiting Prayers for now. I think that's what I'm going for. At least until we reach Kryta, I think. We're going to get there. The warrior, especially in the northern Shiverpeaks, the warrior will take a short break from all of the happenings. Because a lot of these are going to be ranger missions, especially in the Shiverpeaks, where we're going to try to find a path for the Ascalonians. Like, the warrior will take a little bit of a step back until we are back in Kryta. You know? Let's go for Axe Mastery. And once we are in Kryta, we probably can change it. The good thing is about Prophecies, like, you don't have to do all of the missions. Like, that is one of the boons of Prophecies. Whereas in the future games, you do need to do every mission to get to where you need to be. Like, you can't just skip missions outright. At least in Prophecies, you can. So for some characters who won't have like anything to do in Ascalon or even the northern Shiverpeaks, I can literally just buy someone to rush me over to Lion's Arch if I wanted to, right? And then just power level. I highly doubt that I will need to well, let's just, we don't need any of those. Let's just sell everything. I think I've settled on a pretty decent. There we go. Let's destroy some of these. We actually don't need them. I'm going to keep the starter hammer because I need a hammer for that one mission. I have heard that Smiting Monk got a huge boost in the last update. Like, apparently Ray of Judgment is even more broken than it was before. Which I can't imagine. Like, you could nuke before, like, everything with Ray of Judgment. Like, especially if you went Mesmer and doubled it up. Double Ray of Judgment was like nuking entire armies. I can't imagine how they make it even more broken. Right? By the way, you're going to see amazing monk work from me because once the once my skill comes back for this game, I'm going to be probably the most amazing monk you've ever seen. Probably not. Alright, have you heard? We're almost ready to set out before you join us. Keep in mind that you'll have to say goodbye to all the comforts of Ascalon City. Out there beyond the wall, our lives will be in constant danger and we'll have only our comrades to rely on. But both of us are willing. We'll drive these Char from our kingdom once and for all. Yes, once we leave, there's no turning back. And we are not going to leave for a while. But yeah, you're going to see some amazing builds. Like, I'm going to experiment a lot during this playthrough. Because that is one of the... improve your armor by finding and trading. Yeah. Give me my reward. Grim news from Devona and Ashford. A clan of Grawlers swept north from the woods and into Lakeside County. If they are not stopped, the village will surely be destroyed. Someone must fight these creatures and protect the people of Ashford. Coordinate your efforts with Devona. I'll stop the Grawl. Alright. Definitely all of these Devona ones are extremely important. By the way, this one, we just need to... Wait, we can't do henchmen? Alright. Let's go. We're going to Baradin's estate, right? For now. And... we don't have henchmen yet. I really thought we would have henchmen. Alright. Baradin's estate. Go to the Duke's Vineyard and kill all large or lowest seats. I'm going to need to take a break soon. I need to let my cat outside for the night. Kind of neglected it a little bit because I've been playing so much already. I do love this game. Like, I'm going to play this until... I don't have an ending in mind for today. That's all I'm going to say. Those are lowest seeds could get hard to deal with. Right. Alright. Taking the ball hammer with me. There we go. And we're going to do the Warriors Challenge as well. Yes, we're going to do the Warriors Challenge as well because we're already in the area. For that, I'm going to take the hammer that we just got. And we're going to attack Agnar the Foot. Over here. Thing is, we need to interrupt him. We're going to see how that works. If we get enough adrenaline. There we go. That's what we needed to interrupt. Easier than I thought it would be. So let's return for our just reward. First Duke Paradin. You defeated Agna then. Well, not bad for a beginner. You can keep the hammer for certain, and I expect I won't hear much about Agna anymore around here. I do, however, expect to hear much more about you. It is a tough world out there for warriors to conquer. Yeah, that is actually true, Duke Paradin. Where can I learn more skills? Okay. Little Tom. I think you're kindly for getting rid of the Malloy seeds. That's a lot of my mind. Alright. I do plan to do everything in pre-searing. If I can. Today. But I don't know if I'll be able to. But I need to take a short break. I'm going to have to try to somehow get out of here without breaking everything. I'm kind of boxed in this setup. But that's okay. I'm going to take a short break of around 15 minutes, maybe. And when we're back, we're going to continue in this section of the game in pre-searing. I'm going to try to get everything done that I wanted to do in pre-searing today, so that next time we meet, we will be at post-searing, and we're going to switch perspectives quite drastically. Like, almost every mission has a different person running it. But yeah. I'll see you soon. Alright, let me rebuild my entire setup so that we are ready to go on. That is one of the things that is going to keep this game from happening too often, I have to say, because my setup is it's very hard to get a PC game like this, where I have to play with mouse and keyboard set up for a couch setting that I'm currently in. Like, my stream setup is a couch setting because I really do enjoy just hanging out with you guys, just talking and playing games. And I'm basically sitting on a couch, but for a couch setting all of this up is super difficult. And it's going to prevent me from fully playing this game. Obviously, I can already tell you my plans going forward. I'm probably not going to be playing this game for the rest of the weekend. I have other games planned for the rest of the weekend. And around next week... So yeah, I'm going to probably start this next week again. But then more consistent, you know, obviously. I have to also play all of the characters to where they need to be. It's not going to take me a lot, but it's going to take me a little bit of time, like a tiny amount of time for each character to get to where they need to be. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. You know. Okay. We have a few quests that we need to start. There's a lot in Pike and Square. Obviously, Gwen's flutes is something that we need to do. Okay, let me go back to the quests we do have. We have Trouble in the Woods. We have to talk to Devonna, which is in Lakeside County, I think. And yeah. Can I just buy a flute? You can't just buy a flute. Can I just give this to Gwen and be nice to her? Like, since her flute is broken. Okay, let's go over to Devonna. The things they added are basically Devonna-centric, most of it. And they are across the wall, I think. I probably should switch back to Axe. Just because it's better. By the way, they never fixed the bug. If you change weapons during running, your character is kind of holding their weapon awkwardly. They never fixed this bug. Okay. Trouble in the Woods. The Grawl have been mustering south of the bridge. Let's see if we can turn back their attack. Follow me. And she just runs off. But yeah, a lot of the... I really thought that we would get more pre-searing character interactions here. But they have been kind of rolling them out slowly. There you go. They have infused health. There you go. I should probably heal. Horizon of Healing is probably the better idea here. I need to watch my health a little bit more carefully since I don't have any henchmen. What are you doing, Divana? Why are you back there? Let's do it the warrior way. Just slicing. There we go. Thank God. I think the village is safe for now. The Grawl are not very intelligent, but even they understand the show of force. What really troubles me is the presence of the Char Ranger. Could he be inciting the Grawl to attack for some reason? I will warn Rurik of this threat. Thank you for aid. Thanks, Savannah. Definitely up in strength. You know, there is some quests. I actually need to look up a quest, but... Alright. Opposition to the king is a quest we want to do. It's sad. These royalist fools oppose King Adalbern because he was not born into nobility. They forget that it was Adalbern who saved us from the Guild Wars, and the old king Grant be just, goddammit, who nearly brought Ascalon to ruin. The royalists hope to depose Adalbern and place Duke Baradin on the throne, but no one dares implicate the Duke. In their actions. I'd like you to go to Green Hills County and search for signs of support for the royalists. Head north until you find a road to Green Hill County, goddammit, and talk to at least 3 people there. Sound them out to see if they have royalist sentiments. One warning though, do not talk to War Master Grass. At the slightest mention of disloyalty to Adalbern, he's likely to crush your skull. Alright. We're not going to do that. So yeah, that's one of the quests I picked out. Adventure with an ally we got. Opposition to the king. Captain Osrich has one from us that's very interesting. And then we have one at Pike and Square. And across the wall we also need to go. So... Alright, I'll see what I can do. Where did she go? She just left me there. But yeah, pre-searing is relatively small. Like, you get one more area down here. And then you get like a small little area here. Okay, opposition to the king we're going to do. But I also want to go up to the wall real quick to get those quests going. Like, you see this massive wall here? This massive wall in between those 2 areas, that is the Great Ascalon Wall. The Great Wall, I think they just call it. And it's to keep out the Char from regular Ascalon. Because basically the humans of Ascalon took the land from the Char, and the Char didn't like that, and now they are at war with the humans. But the humans built this great wall to keep them out. This wall is going to become very important. Because it's like the one thing keeping the Char at bay. Even though like the humans have been getting grounds against the Char. And basically the Char are on the back burner at this point. Like even the humans even have settlements that are now north of the wall. Because they have driven the Char back. But we're going to see what happens with that. There's at least a few more quests that I want to get here. Like, it seems pretty much a flawless victory for humanity in Ascalon. At this stage. There he is. Gate God Torin. This is the guy we want to talk to. I have a personal favor to ask of you. A good friend of mine has gone missing north of the wall. He's a ranger by the name of Ben Wolfson. He was on a scouting mission and was separated from his outfit when he came under attack from a Char patrol near Pike Square. Ben's a survivor. I feel certain he's alive, and I'd go after him if I could, but I have orders to remain here. I cannot even leave my post long enough to open the gate for you. To open it and pass through, you'll need a companion to pull the lever above the gate while you go through. I know it's a lot to ask, but if you could go north and look for him, I'd be in your debt. Remember, you need a companion to help you get through the gate. Do you still need a companion to get through the gate? Or has it been changed? Probably hasn't, right? That would suck because we can't go north of the wall. If that is still the case. Or is it now open long enough so that we can pass through? Okay, it just stays open long enough so that we can pass through, huh? Okay. So you can solo this part. So we're now north of the wall. This is deep. This is now actually supposed to be Char territory, right? And we're going to see a lot of strong enemies here. The enemies are going to be level 5 around, I think. They're going to be a little bit stronger, especially the Char are going to kick our butts from time to time. These O cards are nothing to sneeze at either. Let me re-angle my PC a bit. Here we go. Level 6, yeah. I expected that. This is not going to be easy. We might have to level up a bit. I mean, Monk gives us enough utility that we might be able to do this solo, but... But yeah, we'll have to go through to Pike and Square. They extended this section. Like, this section was only available for a party, like, of at least 2 people previously. And these char groups are going to suck hard. Let's talk to Ben Wolfson. He's going to help us, probably. Oh, I'm glad to see you. I'm not sure how much longer I'd have lasted out here. Where do I need to take you? Back to the gate. Can we attack the char? It's probably not a good idea to do so, right? Here. Yeah, probably not. Yep. The char are fearsome in here. Yeah, we have failed the quest for Ben. I thought I would go to Pike and Square Outpost. Before I do this quest. But yeah, the char are nasty in here. Especially since you don't have henchmen with you at all. Like, you can't even, like, skill anyone or build a party. You need to build a party with other players. Like, that's what this section of the game was always revolving around. Like, building a party with other players in pre-searing. Because these char, they're not like this bandit here, who is like a single guy. These char over there are in parties, and wiping out entire parties with your build at this section is not going to be easy. Better swords. Don't have a better axe yet. Yeah, interrupt your own signet, idiot. But yeah, I'll look into if I can actually make it to where I need to go. I think they extended it somewhat north. Yep. I probably need to gain some levels before I even do attempt to do this again. Because they are ramping up enemies a lot here. It's just going to getting through this might be a tough one. Wait, do I not get a negative effects? Like, is the Death Mallows not a thing yet? And average ping is 65 milliseconds, which is not that great. Fuck that elementalist. But as you can see, there's bandits there, there's Char there, there's a lot of things here that want to kill you. In this section. Obviously it's very dangerous to even go here. We're almost all the way to the north. Is this okay? I thought we were going to hit an outpost. At some point, but apparently not. Let me walk through here. Probably not a good idea. Lag. Let me retry this, I think. I could continue this mission, and I also could level up. How are we looking on the level? We're still not even like 25% there. And the Grawl here are also pretty strong. I have to say. The good thing is we don't have a Death Malice. There is a way to get to level 20, by the way, using this method. Like just going over here and fighting things. Can get you to level 20 in pre-searing, like max level. Alright. That's what a lot of people wasted their time on. Well, not wasted, they had fun doing it, I guess. So, it's not wasted time, right? Alright. Not having the greatest time up here, north of the wall. So let's travel back to Ashford Abbey. Yo, welcome to the stream. Sup? Thanks for joining. We've started a new playthrough of Guild Wars too. Fuck me. What a bad introduction, guys. Guild Wars 1. And we're going for mostly story, but we currently just started in pre-searing, and we're just questing in pre-searing right now. It's basically the first Guild Wars stream today. I have to say it's nice to see actual activity on the Twitch side of things. I stream both on Twitch and YouTube. And the Twitch side is very quiet usually. Yeah, I'm going to go over all the changes too, of what they added once I get there. What do you want? You must be joking. Not since King Doric at Ascalon had a finer king than Adelburn. The only good royalist is a dead royalist, I say. Alright. We're going to talk to some people. But yeah, I'm currently doing like the pre-searing events, and I'm going to check out what new stuff they added in pre-searing. Thanks for joining. I might raid you next time. I might also check out your streams. I do love checking out someone else's streams as well. So I might check out your streams and raid you next time. Because it's an honor to be raided for once. I've never actually been raided before on Twitch, believe it or not. Position to the king. From what I've seen, King Adalbern is a man of great compassion. There will always be those malcontents who seek to blame every hardship on the life of the current monarch. Many of the royals are merely misguided. In time, they will realize the error of their ways. Alright. We don't need those protection prayers, but I'm going to do the quest. Can we just question Kasha and be done with it? What? ArenaNet partner? Crazy. Honestly, it would be great if ArenaNet would partner me. I would take it in a heartbeat. I probably need to build up a more of a fan base though. That's crazy. Congrats. There we go. Maybe you don't remember how Ascalon was before Adalbern. The crown peddled influence to the guilds for the slightest show of coin. Who would wish for a thing like that in return? By the way, this is like the very rare mention of the actual guild wars happening in the game. It's very crazy that the guild wars are such an afterthought in the game. In a game called Guild Wars, but it is like the guild wars happened before the story takes place. Who do I need to... Oh yeah, it was a quest from Devana. Let's do that. I'm from Germany. If you haven't realized that yet, probably off my accent. I do stream in English though, because it's like, I don't know, I have been playing games in English for like the last 2 decades, and I think it's just more natural, right? We Germans are a unique breed. Okay, Devana. I'm not going to take your last quest because it's not that important. Where do we need to go for this one? Wait. As you should. Germany is a beautiful country if you ignore the naysayers, you know. There's definitely a lot of people who don't like Germany anymore. In recent years. Ooh, you're also into Fire Emblem? I also like Fire Emblem. The only problem the new Fire Emblem has is it comes out at the same time as Trails in the Sky's second chapter, which... I'm a huge Trails fan, so... it's kind of a bad timing on them. For who, I don't know, but for one of them, it's going to be a bad timing. Yep. No, it's not a Gossa Radler. It's a Sprite. Sprite. I'm not drinking alcohol on stream. At least not right now. I have been doing drunk streams and they have been pretty fun, but right, we haven't even talked to Osrich and Rurik at this point. Lovely, isn't she? Ah, as lovely as the day is long. You're a lucky man, your highness. Aye, that I am. And what of the blessed event? Have you set a date? No, but I've got a more pressing problem, believe it or not. What is it, my prince? It's Althea's birthday tomorrow, and I haven't got a gift for her. I searched for shops at the treasure room. I need something utterly unique and breathtaking, like Althea. Don't give it another thought, your highness. Leave it to me. You served me well in trying times, Osrich, and for that you have my respect. If you can't do this for me, you'll have my undying gratitude as well. And now Osrich is going to pass that on to me, because nobody can do anything. I have a very important mission for you. The princess love Althea. We'll celebrate your birthday tomorrow. The princess charged me with finding a perfect gift. One that is as unique and beautiful as Althea. What do you say? Can you help me? We're going to do that. I guess nothing bad is going to happen between Rurik and Althea. It's not going to end in a fucked up way at all, right? Where do we actually need to go for this quest? Alright. Like, there's a reason why I'm doing some of these quests. Because they will become important in the story later down the line. Let's do the across the wall quest again. I think that was changed, right? That they let you go across the wall solo instead of with another person. But yeah, I definitely would love to become ArenaNet partner. ArenaNet, hit me up, please. I'm going to play all of your games all the time. Never going to play another game outside of your games. Never. I'll have to engage these two, right? To get past them here. I mean, it's working, kind of. Honestly, I need an MMO keyboard at times for stuff like this. I could go for a smiting staff. By the way, I could actually invest in smiting prayers a little bit. Just a tiny amount. It's 4 to 8. This one's slightly better. Alright, let's go to Ben Wolfson. And let's drag him back to the wall. Come on. There we go. At least we have a healing signet as well. The warrior monk combo is kind of cursed at the same time as it kind of works at the beginning. You know? Like it kind of works for now, but it is kind of cursed in the future. But we're not going to stay warrior monk for the rest of the duration of this game. Are you coming, dude? All right. I hope all of your days was okay, because mine was. I kind of didn't want to start this game yet, but it kind of fell in today because it was a late stream. I had to plan a late stream, and this was the kind of game that is perfect for just a chill late night hangout session, you know. I usually stream a little bit earlier. All right. All right, Ben Wolfson. You're back at the wall. Okay, let's go back to Lakeside County. And he should be here, right? Listen, I found something interesting beyond the wall. Thanks for pulling me out of that mess before I got ambushed. I was scoping out a foothold for our forces to push back against the Char. Most of the Northlands are in ruin, but I spotted a structure that could serve our needs. Pikeett Square used to be a bustling hub of commerce, and its walls are still standing after all this time. Prince Rurik's asked Ivana to lead a contingent to retake Pikeett. She could use the help of someone like you. Let's take the fight to those Char. I don't know how much help I'll be to Ivana, but alright. I am pretty sure that the Pikeett Square thing is a new thing that they added, right? Like that is a new quest line. Let's take the fight to the Shar. Are they going to follow me? Or do I have to follow them? That's the question. I think they're following me, so that should be at least okay. We're going to go after the shaman first, as usual. That went better than I expected. Doesn't really matter that much. The skills that they have are not that universal or universally good as well at this point. But they are level 8, so it's probably advised you go in there a little bit more level than I am. The shaman first, obviously. The thing is, the shamans are smiting monks, so they are not as strong. Like, they are not as strong a hindrance as a healing monk would be. Like, smiting prayers are still strong, but let's call this one. Oh boy. Let me spend some attribute points in Axe Mastery and Smiting Prayers. So we can do a little bit more damage. Should probably spend... Is Healing Signet a strength? No, it's tactics. Alright. What? Warthog. There's the shaman. I hate these shamans. They do way too much damage with what they currently do. I can draw most of the presence onto me. But... Oh, they do have healing prayers? Alright. I really don't like the shamans. Let's see if I can do it this time. There's a whole ton of them in there. They can pin. There's a square. Clear the field and hold the line. That's going to be the problem because they are all so stacked together. But I can't draw them out either. Like, the moment I get in there, they're just going to come towards me. Alright. Just going to come rushing towards me. I mean, I have Horizon of Healing. I can heal a little bit, but not too much. I'm a warrior. Usually the others can take care of themselves pretty much, but... Wait, heal... Does heal area heal you too? The shamans do so much damage. I kind of want to draw them out. The thing is, I can't flag the NPCs behind me. Okay, let's run in. Fuck me. Healing Signet. Oh my god. Thank god that procced still. I think a different class would have done better. Here comes the one called Slicer. This will be a final stand, soldiers. Oh no. Oh, he's with 2 hunters. That should be fine. Or maybe not. Oh no. Well. Oh, 7's in chat for well. Pike and Square is secure now. We'll stay here and fortify this place against further attacks. You should go tell Prince Rorik what we achieved today. Good work, you fought valiantly. Oh, 7 for Val. He died in Pike and Square. All right. Prince Rurik was in Lakeside County, I think. Right. By the way, if any of you want to jump in, if you feel enough, like you want to jump in and help me out at times, I'm not saying no. Sometimes. That's actually not a bad hammer for now. Probably don't need any of this. Let's just keep it simple at this point. We're going to get better weapons soon. Okay, let's tell Prince Rurik. It's been many years since humankind had a foothold beyond the northern wall. However, things have a way of changing. Just as soon as one decides it'll be the same, the Northlands are still dangerous, but Pike and Square transforms the way we can mobilize against the Char. I'll be deploying a vanguard contingent there. I suspect opportunists and travelers will find their way to Piken as well. You do well to stop by on your own adventures and see what becomes of the place. Well met, young warrior. Char in the catacombs. This Char agent that you and Devon have witnessed leading the Grawl worries me greatly. I've questioned the guards and many of the townfolks, but none have seen him. I suspect that he is using the catacombs to move through the countryside unseen. My men are all busy safeguarding the wall, and I can spare none of them. If you're willing, I'd like you to go into the catacombs to see if you can find any evidence as to where this Char is hiding. Perhaps Brother Menlo at the Abbey has seen something. Alright. Char at the gates. A group of Char have broken through the gates. They must be stopped at all costs. Meet me at the gates, just outside the town in Lakeside. What say you? Will you help me drive these Char from Fair Ascalon? I'm with you, dude. But yeah, we're going to basically do the new content as well. I hope I can do it solo. It should be possible solo. If I can't solo it, I might just level up outside of stream before we try this again. But I think they made it so you can solo most things. To the gate, follow me. Alright, Rurik, I'm with you. Last time I streamed this, I think we were pretty much not that far into the game. Also, we were never doing these kinds of quests because that was before Reforged came out. Like literally the moment I started playing this game, they announced Reforged. Let's attack the fire caller first. Alright. I hate healing signets. I don't particularly like this build as well. Alright, Rurik. That should teach them the fear of the might of Ascalon. You fought well. Thanks, dude. Then we're going to do the same for the catacombs, right? Char in the catacombs. Let's talk to Brother Menlo. Where is he? The most important guy ever. Greetings, my child. Alright. A Char Ranger south of the wall? Rurik is right to be worried. I've seen nothing, but perhaps Mistress Munich can offer you some assistance. She's much more familiar with the catacombs than I. Alright. We're in here. An adventurous one. Char in the catacombs. Rurik is wise to suspect the Char of moving through the catacombs. They are fraught with much danger. But if you were familiar with them, they could lead you to almost any region of Ascalon. Seek out my associate Oberon, the Reviled. He makes his home deep in the catacombs and will know if any Char have ventured there. Thanks for sending me on a quest again. Is there another path through here? I don't think so. But yeah, they expanded like pre-searing greatly. I kind of wish they did that with more characters. Like, I would even love to have more heroes from pre-searing, if you catch my drift. Like, instead of having Menlo and Sin and all of those characters be confined to henchmen, I would actually love to have them as heroes. And you can recruit all of them in pre-searing, right? Through doing their quests. Or even post-searing. Like, add some of them as quests post-searing. Make them recruitable all over the game. That would be really good if they ever go back on prophecies. That would like be my favorite thing they could do, because prophecies is an interesting concept because it's so open. Like, the story is very different from it's very detached from how the rest of the games work. All right. That's why it's such an interesting concept. All right. And I would really love them to expand. Like, Prophecies has the biggest potential to expand, because I feel like Cantha, like, factions and Nightfall are basically perfect the way they are. But I feel like Prophecies, there's still a little air upwards, you know, in terms of structure and what you can find. But like, factions and Nightfall are basically like perfect. Like, it's where they perfected the form, right? The form for the game, in my opinion. These Devourers are just meant to run into the traps, right? Can I run through that? Nope. I can't. I really thought I could tank the damage here. I should probably get sprint or something so I can move quicker. I think if you go through there, you're supposed to bring your minions, right? Because it's I think it's a necromancer area where you get as a necromancer, and you're supposed to send in your minions to die there instead of you. But since I don't have any minions and then kind of need to go there anyway, it's not boding well for me. Alright. By the way, I still need to find a plugin that I can also use Twitch chat on top of everything that I'm doing for you guys. Especially if there's going to be more activity on Twitch for this game. You know, I'd happily like put you also on screen. Like, currently only the YouTube chat is on screen. Because my main platform was YouTube for forever. Can I pull this guy? Nope. Didn't work. Wait, but is this even... This is a dead end, right? Is it? Let's put the cleaver back on. There's so many different paths through here. Oh, this was the monk path, right? I'm not sure we can do all of it today because I'm getting kind of tired already. We've been streaming for, let me just look real quick, almost 3 hours. That's fine. There we go. Alright, there we go. I think that was the wrong path to take earlier. It's Q, right? Yeah. But yeah, I'll probably not be playing Guild Wars for a while. Probably until next week. Thursday. It's probably going to be Thursday because that's where I want to continue, kind of. That should also give me enough time to bring every character that we have up to speed. To where it should be. Relatively easily, right? The thing is, I need to unlock Devona for all characters, I think. Because we'll be having her. So at least I need to play a little bit of pre-searing. But some characters will skip most of Ascalon stuff, you know. Yeah, this is going to suck for you. These restless corpses are easy targets. I actually don't need to engage with you. I just need to go back this way. Right? That was probably not the best idea. I think it goes a little bit roundabout. You know, early Guild Wars, like very early Guild Wars, has like certain charm to it that you don't get in the future. When your parties become big, you know, once your parties hit like 8 party members, something is lost just by party assemblance, right? Like soloing everything, I think, is more akin to other MMOs. Like in a lot of MMOs, you kind of solo everything until you get to like the multiplayer content. But in this game, basically the later missions are all going to be party missions. Oberon the Reviled. Hello, dude. I'm going to help you against these. There we go. That's level 6. I'm taking the point in strength here. You come here seeking char? You were wise to seek out Oberon, for no creature, be they living or dead, moves through here without my knowledge. This char that he seeks comes often to the underground, but he does not make his lair here. The spirits of this place would not tolerate him should he seek to take up residence. If you require proof of this presence, take this. It's a token he left behind during one of his encounters with the denizens of this place. Now then, leave me to my studies. Return to the world of light. Alright. Back to Ascalon City. I think we've basically done most quests today in pre-searing. I think we're going to finish pre-searing in like another hour or so next stream. If you have any suggestions for quests I should do, please tell me as well. You know, I've just picked out like the most important ones. This is proof enough. You have served Ascalon well this day. I will mobilize the troops and search for this beast. Alright, we're heading to the Northlands soon. But I think I'm going to do that next time. Because I really should go to bed. It's getting late. I'll definitely play more of this game as time moves on. We're going to definitely play a lot. But for now, I need to prepare a little bit of stuff and see if I can get this set up a little bit better so I'm not as boxed in as I'm now, right? So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I'll basically... Let me go back here real quick. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube and we're going to look for a raid. We're going to look to raid someone on Twitch. Let me bring up Twitch real quick while we're at it. You'll have to bear with me. Let me raid someone. Who are we going for? Guild Wars Reforged from the beginning. That seems like a pretty decent one. Let's begin the raid. See you guys. We can't raid that guy. Sorry. Let's raid someone else. Let's raid this person. Oh, it's a German streamer. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all next time on Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. If you are on YouTube, I would really suggest a like and subscribe. And if you are on Twitch, I would really appreciate a follow. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Trilightning out.